certainly worthy of the main course. Number 7 against number 5 in front of a packed house that are on their feet, and we are underway. Stanford in the darker uniforms, Louisville in the white, and it is the Cardinal coming over from the West Coast that get the first point of the evening.
Ruben right on cue with what she does so well, high swings off the block.
And there's Jordan Harvey, who serves for Stanford, but does so in error to give the point back to Louisville. These are the top 2 scoring teams in the ACC. If you look at the ACC statistics, these 2 teams are in the top 5 in just about every meaningful category. They are among the best teams in the league and among the best teams in the country. And it is the second meeting of the season between these 2 sides. Louisville handed Stanford its first home loss in 20 matches earlier this year, out on the farm, as they call it, in Palo Alto. And Stanford retakes the lead here 2-1 as Lizzie Andrew connects for the first time tonight.
And to your point earlier, both of these teams just good across the board, solid passing, serving, hitting, and you see there Stanford just able to take care of a messy play. That's going to matter down the stretch tonight.
But it is a set of teams, the matchup is unique, right? In the sense of Louisville, such a defensive-minded team. Sometimes their weakness has been superstar opposition, outside hitters, or just superstar talents on the other side of the net. But this is a Stanford team that has depth. They've certainly got star power at the top, but it's a lot of quality across the board for them, not necessarily one superstar to do everything.
Exactly, and not necessarily offense or defense, but Louisville right on cue there. If there's one thing this Louisville team prides themselves in, it is their block.
Indeed it is, the number 1 blocking team in the ACC. They're Kara Cressy getting the job done, the 5th-year player who is one of the true leaders, an all-timer for this program. Her head coach called her, Dan Meskey, earlier this week. A joust at the net, Chicoine up for it for Louisville. And Peyton Peterson, who's playing some of the best volleyball of her career right now, just has to get it over for the Cardinals. Cabello with the right hand. Ruben goes flying to keep it alive. And a good rally between these 2 top 10 foes. Look at the flying dig there from Etzler for Stanford. Here's Cressy for Louisville. A terrific point for the Cardinals to give them the 2-point advantage.
And we talked about Andrew able to go off 1 foot. Cressy, same thing. Here in transition, long rally, being able to finish with your middle.
Kara Cressy with 10 kills in that loss to Pitts. You see the hitting percentage. That has been the hallmark of her career. An ace for Louisville extends the early lead. This time, Peyton Peterson. And there's a look at Dan Meskey, the first-year head coach for the Louisville Cardinals, who said this week was the unofficial ACC Volleyball tournament, with his side facing Pitt and now Stanford. The way that the ACC does its scheduling, top RPI teams from a year ago all facing off in the season's final week in lieu of having a conference tournament like you see so many other leagues do around the country.
Give us an official one, ACC tournament, we want it.
Steph will be the commissioner and the chief advocate of that tournament in the event it happens. Louisville on a run here. Give them a 6-2 lead, and Stanford trying to collect themselves defensively.
And both sides so scrappy right now. Louisville just able to win a couple of these scrappy points early in the set, which are so important for them.
Where does Stanford turn? They go to Andrew. There's Camden Schramm expertly defensively. Now Chicoine, the Purdue transfer. And another Louisville block, denying Julia Blashov. And Stanford takes a timeout. Aladdin Federal Credit Union Arena roaring with approval as the Cardinals have a 7-2 lead. The block here,
Louisville here, yes, on the block.
It's Cabello and Cressy getting the job done. Nailie's coming through for the Cardinals. ACC leading blocking game showing itself for the Cardinals. That's part of the reason why they have this 5-point lead early on.
Yep, they have 2 blocks here already early in this set, which just makes that offense think a little bit harder. Number 3 right on cue, Cabello and Cressy.
Doing what they do best. Cabello and Cressy. This time it's Kara Cressy that gets credit. And Louisville, after the disappointment of Wednesday night, coming out firing at home in the regular season finale.
Great touch there from Cressy on the block too. Schramm just unable to track it down. Back row attack there from Harvey. you see Stanford trying to find other ways, going to Harvey out of the back row early instead of just their normal 4 and slide with Ruben and Andrew.
Harvey, the junior from Salt Lake City, all ACC performer a year ago and having that kind of quality season this year as well. Here's Chicoine for Louisville. This time, Stanford able to score off the block with Blasov coming through with the kill.
The hitters shy away just a little bit, going a little too high, missing hands.
Cressy, who had a pair of aces on Wednesday, serves here for Louisville. Cabello calls her own number and is met promptly by Erica Sayer, the 6'2 freshman middle blocker from Colorado.
We saw the Stanford blockers jump earlier and Cabello was able to set outside. This one was a little too far. Sayer so disciplined right on that block.
Over 120 blocks in the freshman season for Sayer. An overpass, and Stanford has back-to-back points.
Stanford taking care of business every easy point they need right now. Blasov puts the overpass away.
Blasov with a pair of kills, tied for the team lead so far. She had a dozen in a victory over Georgia Tech for Stanford. Chicoine with power and also precision.
You'll see Chicoine come inside on this ball. They've run it once or twice. First kill here for Chicoine. She's about 6'8", maybe 10 feet into the court. Just create some different angles and a different look for the defense.
Those kinds of swings get the oohs and ahs coming from the crowd.
I mean, just watching Chicoine jump gets an ooh and ah from me.
Jordan Harvey making an impact early as well. A second kill for her, for the junior from Salt Lake City, who had a big year last year, her second season as a regular starter. 13 kills and 14 digs, her 4th double-double of the season against Georgia Tech. There's Calissa Blackshear for Louisville, the true freshman from California, playing against one of her home state schools, coming into the act here.
And we've seen from both sides here. First was Stanford and Harvey, then Louisville and Blackshear running some different plays on offense. Both very dynamic offenses that like to find kills from different looks on the floor.
Chicoine serves. Hannah Sherman with the block touch. Ruben. And that's good.
Ruben went up high here. It was called out at the end line, but then also called a touch. Does look like it went right through those blockers and may have been in as well. No challenge.
Ruben working on what would be her 20th double-digit kill match if she can reach that kind of number tonight. 20th of the season, I should point out. Here's Peyton Peterson, able to swing and score off hands for the Cardinals. Peterson, the rising sophomore, who's had a double-double in 4 of her last 5 and 10 overall this year.
You'll hear Coach Dan Meskey reference it often, but Louisville has to be great in their first contact. And when they are great in their first contact, their offense can fire on multiple cylinders, as we just saw from Peterson in that last play. Stanford here, do we think a little bit of nerves maybe coming out with the ACC championship on the line?
That's a great question, Steph. This is a program that obviously has won everything, but it's a younger bunch this time around for Kevin Hambly. We were speaking with some of their staffers before the match, and they were saying that this team is well aware of the stakes of this game, well aware of what is on the line, a chance to win an ACC title, a share of it at least, and by virtue of a tiebreaker over Pitt, take that automatic qualification berth in the NCAA tournament. So it's a great question, Steph. Maybe it is some nerves early on here from Stanford. Cressy continuing to add to the Stanford anxiety, if that's what the case is, with another kill here for the Louisville Cardinals.
And Cressy loves to go behind the center, but in this rotation with 3 hitters, Blackshear's on the right side, Cressy stays in front, finds that gap between the middle and the outside blocker.
Dan Meskey called her the epitome of what Louisville volleyball success is all about for the 5th year, Kara Cressy. Biding her time earlier in her career, playing behind All-Americans, and has earned the opportunity to be an All-American herself and a star for this program.
Beautiful set there from Parks, and Ruben able to tool the outside of the block. We talk a lot about the high hands shot off the block, but Ruben's body position allowed her to go off the side of the block.
So it's Louisville by 5. Plenty of opportunity for Stanford to get back into it, and they will take a step toward getting back into it here with the block.
Parks and Andrew combo on the outside. You'll see Andrew's hands here just finish back into the court. Parks actually got that one with her outside hand.
Logan Parks, the freshman from Kansas, who's had some injury issues of late, had 18 assists in the victory over Georgia Tech. Peterson to the back corner with ease.
Peterson has so many shots in her toolbox. You see her not quite finish her swing there, just stay high and place that ball in the back corner.
Couldn't find the placement that time, though, from behind the service line. And Louisville's first service error of the evening. And Dan Meschio, bemused look in front of the Louisville bench. Blashoff. There's Hannah Kinney for Louisville coming in defensively. And that pass off for Sayre. She has to set it over. Cressy. Off the fingertips of Cabello, it looked like. She sets it here for Chicoine. It'll come to the net. Parks had the touch. Here she sets it to Blashoff. And Stanford gets that point after an extended rally.
Yeah, and interesting miscues on both sides during that rally, but also some big swings. And Blashoff just doing such a good job of finding ways to get a kill. Maybe not a flashy kill, but a point is a point on the scoreboard.
4-time All-American at Cathedral Catholic in California. Blashoff, the redshirt sophomore, and living up to the prep billing with what she's been able to do for the Cardinal. Over 250 points for her this year. Andrew and Coco Kirsch head to the bench. Out of the back row, that is a blast from Jordan Harvey. And Hannah Kinney had to wear it, but she recovers, immediately hops off the floor and looks to be okay. But this is an explosive athletic play.
And we talked in this rotation, this is what worked last time. Jordan Harvey out of the back row and just kind of hits a flat ball, not as much topspin as Kenny expected, and a fast swing.
But Louisville gets the point back on the fourth service error committed by Stanford, and Kinney, after just taking that one off the chest, heads to the bench. A little worse for wear, perhaps. It's the Cardinals by 4. And a whistle here as players on either side of the net went up for it. And the call will go Louisville's way. And that'll take us to a timeout. Louisville ahead by 5 here at home.
Every time, having played last year at the Yum Center, then NCAA tournament at Freedom Hall, and now today here at LNN.
Getting the full tour of Louisville sporting venues. Just got to have one outdoors over at LNN Stadium maybe next season. It's the Cardinals by 6 as they look to close out what has been an impressive opening set against this 5th-ranked Stanford team. But Stanford trying to do something about that, and they go to Erica Sayre to get that first point back to end what was a Louisville 3-0 run. Cabello had to sprint a long way for that ball. Gives it to Chicoine, who scores off the Stanford block.
You're right that Cabello had to work, but still delivers a great ball. Again, just inside for Chicoine, able to go off Sayre.
Chicoine with 12 and 8 on Wednesday night in the loss to Pitt.
Chicoine going with the topspin serve today.
Blackshear with a touch. Peterson wins that ball at the net. Rubin, too much.
Rubin with an inside ball on that, like we've talked about Chicoine running. It's interesting that high and inside gives the hitters the ability to go cross or to cut back to the line. Rubin tried to go high hands on that ball.
Rubin has been excellent. 4 kills on 6 swings, a .500 hitting percentage, but that one didn't go her way. Stanford needs a rally if they want to contest this first set. Harvey with the swing.
A rare miss hit over there from Harvey. I like Stanford and Logan Parks moving that ball around. Harvey's been deadly so far from the back row. They need to get her going on that right side in the front row.
Here's Blackshear. Had to adjust midair for that one. And Blackshear again scores. And Louisville on the precipice of a first set victory.
And Cabello, a great job during that rally, realizing which hitter dug the ball. Peterson was on the floor for 2 of those, and Cabello did a great job finding Blackshear behind her.
Been a busy day for these Louisville fans. But they are on their feet, and it's been a high energy, intense atmosphere so far tonight at L&N Federal Credit Union Arena. Blackshear. Will that one fall? Not quite. Etzler with the save. Was that one in? It was. And it's a point to Stanford to keep the Louisville fans and this opening set at bay.
The block went off the side of Sayers' head, but luckily she's rotated out right now. Good track down by Stanford, and way to find a swing from Rubin.
Rubin sent back. They'll come to her again. Sent back again. And a third time for Rubin. This time falls off the fingertips of Blackshear.
Rubin is what you would consider nowadays an undersized outside hitter, but Stanford puts that ball up tight, and she does such a good job of working around a much bigger block.
Rubin listed at 6'1". Blackshear, a mighty swing from the middle to end the first set. Stanford needs a little more from her and everybody else right now if they want to clinch that automatic bid and a share of the ACC title tonight. As we're underway in the second set. Here is Rubin. And Peterson for Louisville misses on that attempt.
Rubin did a great job there of taking out Cabello on defense. It was not a kill shot from Rubin, but it was exactly where Stanford wanted to place that ball into the Louisville defense.
Here's Peterson again, and that one ricocheting off the block of Lizzie Andrew. And it's back-to-back points for Stanford to open the set 2.
And Andrew has had 4 swings and 0 kills, which can get frustrating for an offensive middle. But what do? You step it up in your defensive game. Second block for Andrew.
Harvey was also up for it on the right side for Stanford. Great job there by Parks getting to the floor to keep that ball alive. There's Sherman for Louisville. Anna Sherman, who had a career night in a victory over Georgia Tech last week, with the kill here for the Cardinals.
And Sherman can tend to be a more defensive middle, focused on blocking. Good to see her get going on the offensive side.
That one thrown down by Harvey, but thrown wide of the line. And Jordan Harvey frustrated with that one. You can see exactly what she was trying to do there.
Yep, she made the right choice. Line was open, just missed the shot.
Point goes to Stanford on a missed serve by Louisville. Harvey, a former Miss Volleyball in Utah. She's already had a couple of highlights tonight.
Another block from the combination of Andrew and Parks on the outside. You see here, when this ball is off system for Louisville, they really only have one option, and that's to go to Peterson outside, and the block is set.
Parks with over 60 blocks her freshman season. But this is one of the trends that's starting to go against Stanford. These missed serves, 5-2. You see the totals here between these two sides. This is a Stanford team that is second in the ACC in aces, an aggressive mindset. Andrew. She's been a bit quieter of the two stars that we highlighted in the open, though she does have 3 blocks defensively. That's her first kill tonight.
But we talked about her having 4 swings in set 1 with 0 kills, finding a way to get going defensively, and there the offense follows.
Cressy says, if you can do it, I can do it too. The middle blocker is going tit for tat the last couple of points.
And they have such similarities. If it wasn't for the opposite color jerseys tonight, if you just made them shadows, I don't know if you could tell who's who. Their slides look very similar.
Blashaw. That was not touched. It goes long. It's a point to Louisville. And right now the hitting percentage is dipped below 100 for Stanford.
And they're making the right swings. That was the right choice from Blashaw. We saw Harvey try to throw that ball down the line earlier. That was the right choice. They just haven't been able to be crisp and capitalize on all their decisions.
Blashaw gets the point back with that kill off the Louisville block.
And that was another very intentional play. You saw, instead of trying to go high off the hands that time, she swiped off to finish out of bounds.
Cressy. That is denied in a big way by Blashaw.
Blashaw and Sayer. Sayer a little late to the party there, but keeps Cressy from going cross and goes right into the inside hand of Blashaw.
Blashaw, not an elite blocker on this team, closing in on her 30th block of the season, but certainly able to contribute in that part of the game. Cressy gets the point back.
Love the decision making there from Cabello. Go right back to Cressy on that slide after being blocked and give her another chance.
Elise Cabello, who had a sensational freshman year last season, but has been asked to do a little bit more this year, taking on that lead setter role after sharing duties a year ago. Cabello having a bigger scoring hand this season as well. Over 70 kills for her. She's been a very important player in how this Louisville team performs night in and night out. This time the ball goes right by her hands. Blashaw again. She's been active in this second set, and Stanford has a 3-point lead.
And Stanford has done a good job earlier in this set, capitalizing on the little things and getting the scrappy points, winning that battle.
Sayer, that one fell. Don't think it was the touch that she was looking for, but it gets the job done. Effective, if not intended.
A little miscommunication from Chicoine and Kenny. And we see Blackshear entering the game here for the Cardinals in the back row. It gives Louisville another option offensively to have Blackshear swinging out of the back row.
Stanford with a good response after the opening set went Louisville's way. Here's Harvey, and that ball just didn't dip down as quickly as she had hoped.
Harvey still seems to be making all the right decisions tonight, just can't get the ball to land in, which sounds terrible when she has 4 kills, but she's had opportunities to bat 1,000 tonight and is hitting negative 100.
4 for 10 with 5 errors for Harvey. Chicoine. Oh, just fell off the tape.
We see here Chicoine goes off the block. Both blockers are landing. Everyone kind of thought it was going to fall on Louisville's side. You see Chicoine and Cressy were very ready to play it, or Chicoine and Sherman.
Blashoff, maybe a little delayed reaction there, but the point goes her way.
Yeah, the ball ended up behind her head. I think Parks was falling backwards, and it was a little bit higher of a set than Blashoff expected, but able to make something happen.
She leads all players in this match with 19 swings so far. Chicoine, powerfully. Another swing from Chloe Chicoine that puts a little charge of electricity in the building.
If there is any gap in the block, Chicoine will find it right there, taking the hard cross before Sayer can close.
Chloe Chicoine coming in tonight, leading Louisville with 333 kills. Make it 339 with 6 to her name this evening. Blackshear. Sayer from the middle. Rubin. Harvey. Blackshear to the floor, Sherman to the floor, and Louisville can't keep it up. And Harvey scores to extend the Stanford lead.
And you see Coach Hambly right at the sideline right now talking up Jordan Harvey right there. And we've talked about those decisions that she's made that are the correct decisions. That was one of them. That paid off, and Coach is right there to cheer her on.
Blackshear is sent back. It's a rejection. Harvey gets credit. Andrew was involved as well. And the blocking number is starting to move closer and closer to even after Louisville had an early jump in that statistical category.
And if we divided those blocking numbers by set, they tell the story. Louisville had those blocks early. They had the first set early. Same story for Stanford right now.
And that's a missed pass, though it was a difficult one to make for Nayelise Cabello. Falls out of play, and it's a point to Stanford to give the Cardinal a 5-point advantage in set 2. You didn't think number 5 was going to go away quietly on the road, did you? Certainly not. 3-0 run for Stanford. But that'll end it. Here's Camden Trand, the libero for Louisville. That one on the swing from Andrew. And the point goes to Louisville. But Kevin Hambly looks like he's going to challenge that there was a deflection on the play.
And Logan Parks has a great set here. One-handed, just kind of tees it up for the middle.
Stanford is challenging block touch.
Carla Brunner there saying that Stanford is challenging the block touch to confirm what we believed was happening.
Yep, and Andrew's gonna hope that she gets the left hand here of Cressy. I think I maybe see her ring finger moving.
I agree. But it's a slightly pixelated view. Maybe that makes it a more difficult call. Here is the call.
After review, the call is reversed. Stanford will retain their challenge.
The call reversed. Stanford keeps their challenge. And we will take a timeout. Stanford with 15 points. They are in control in set 2, looking to even this match at a set apiece. Out of the timeout, an ace for the Cardinal. And who else? It's Rubin. She's the career's record holder in the rally scoring era for aces. 3rd all-time, regardless of era. The ball just ping-ponging around. Blashoff will have the opportunity. Kinney underneath it. Here's Ava Utterback, the outside hitter for Louisville into the match. And Blashoff off the Louisville block. Louisville a little out of sorts there defensively, and Stanford takes advantage of 5-0 Cardinal run over the Cardinals. And Dan making impacts. And for Rubin, one of the few veterans as a senior on this team out of Santa Monica, California, taking on that leadership role with aplomb this year, both on and off the floor. And right now it's Stanford's set to lose. Out of the timeout, they lead it by 8. And Louisville in need of something to get back in this if they want to win back-to-back sets. There's at least a step forward for the Cardinals.
Ava Utterback on the kill there from the outside. You see just a change in the Louisville lineup, and Logan Parks was in the net.
Utterback, the redshirt freshman from Indiana, played in now 45 sets this year, her 19th match in which she's appeared. Another freshman, Hannah Kinney there. Cressy with the block touch defensively for Louisville, Kara Cressy. Here's Chicoine with a little run up to that one. And now Andrew, it falls down. Lizzie Andrew, we highlighted her in the open, Steph. She's starting to pick it up here in set 2.
Exactly, you see her here. Again, some scrappy, different plays, but Andrew able to go. That ball's a little outside of her body, but brings it back into the hole.
4 kills now for Lizzie Andrew, along with 5 blocks. Chicoine diving to her right to keep it alive. There's a block for Blashaw against Kara Cressy.
And Cressy was the only hitting option this play as Chicoine had gone to the floor on serve receive. The Stanford block capitalized and got a huge double block on the slide.
And look at those block numbers in set 2. Louisville, the best blocking team in the ACC. They've not found one in the second set, and Stanford has smothered Louisville's attack. Chicoine with the kill.
We see Louisville with another lineup change here. Molly Wilson in.
Wilson, the senior transfer from Washington, as a setter. 61st set for her this year, a pair of starts over the course of the year. A valuable veteran piece to come out of the transfer portal. But she serves into the net, and that puts Stanford 2 points away from closing out this second set in dominant fashion. Got to be difficult to come into the match, especially a match of this intensity and this high stakes environment for Molly Wilson to have to serve.
Angie, hate to say it, but that serve was kind of exactly how this set's gone for everybody on the Louisville side. Just things have not clicked. So they're looking to get some momentum here. Great shot by Chicoine to get that started.
Chicoine leading Louisville thus far. 8 kills on 22 swings with 4 digs as well. And you get the feeling the way this one is shaping up, those numbers could grow more and more and more for both sides, because it appears that we will be guaranteed at least a 4th set in this one. Stanford a point away from ensuring that possibility.
And Blashaw really turning it around here. Another kill off of the block of Louisville.
And the Cardinal contingent in enemy territory on their feet. There's Calissa Blackshear to keep this set going.
Louisville showing a few sparks on offense here late in the set, but Cardinals fans would love to see them get the defense rolling.
And Chicoine will serve here, again with the topspin. Sayre down the middle, and that ends the second set. That's Stanford blocking game of her own, and it's Peterson to serve for the Cardinals to begin set 3, the all-important 3rd set, and this one that has teetered and tottered back and forth between the opening 2 sets. And again, Stanford needing a win to clinch a share of the ACC title. And by virtue of the tiebreaker, would give them the automatic berth in the NCAA tournament next week. And it's Rubin to get Stanford started in this third set.
And we talked about Stanford's just putting that ball high and close to the pin for Rubin, and she's able to attack off of all sides of the block.
Andrew, wow. Able to just power that one down from the middle.
We're used to seeing Andrew off 1 foot, but here she's up fast in transition, sees a gap, cross her body, and finishes.
And you talked about starting well, Steph. Stanford a 2-0 run to start the set. Can Louisville get something back? Or will momentum from the second set carry over? It seems to be carrying. Rubin once again.
I think both of these teams have to be talking about the short games within the game. First one to 10, first one to 15. That momentum has meant so much in set 1 and 2.
Cressy blocked. Stanford's block has come through again and again. The point will stand after the whistle. Not sure what that was, Steph.
Well, the huge block here got Stanford's bench crew almost up onto the court, and the R2 had to nicely remind them that they need to stay off of the playing surface.
After that emotional swing on the block, it's a service error from Stanford that gives Louisville a lifeline back in this set. And you see the Stanford bench there. You can understand the stakes of this one are so high. The emotions are also very high. Molly Wilson checks in for Louisville here to serve.
Go Cardinals!
Was able to keep that one in play. Look at that power from Jordan Harvey on the right side, leaping to the roof to throw that one down.
And Harvey here, again, the block's a little inside from Louisville. She's able to get around to the line side. Kenny gets the dig, but isn't able to keep it in play.
Stanford ahead, 5-1. Louisville looking for answers. They find a little answer with the whistle going their way there for the net fall.
You'll take any point you can get at this point, but Louisville needs points that they earn to get momentum back in this set.
Can't just pick up the scraps on Thanksgiving weekend. You got to get a plate yourself. But right now, Stanford's doing all the eating at the table. Lizzie Andrew again.
And Lizzie Andrew not clicking perfectly here with the tempo, has to hang on her way down, but contacts that ball so high over the block to the middle of the court.
Chicoine. A little more of that will do for Louisville.
And Chicoine needs this ball in tempo. Cabello able to jump set and deliver a fast ball. Again, Chicoine one-on-one is unstoppable. Chicoine struggles a little bit more against that big double block when things get predictable.
Right now, the outside hitters, Chicoine and Rubin going punch for punch. 9 kills each. Andrew again. She is unstoppable right now.
And that first contact from Stanford, they are passing phenomenally in serve receive. Louisville needs to pick up the service pressure so that Stanford can't just keep going in-tempo offense on the slide.
Lizzie Andrew hitting .538 after a quieter start in the opening set. Peterson. Well handled there defensively by Coco Kirsch. And then Blashoff finishes it off.
And you see Louisville's defense staying really deep with all the balls that Blashoff has hit off the block. And deep, this one, she goes a little bit off speed and is able to drop the ball in front of Strand and middle back.
Peterson gets one back for Louisville.
You can sense the urgency from Louisville that they're on the same page as us as far as the need to come out strong early in this set and not wait until 20 points to make a push.
Coyne underneath that one, but it comes off of her and out of play. Logan Parks with the left hand, able to score.
First kill we've seen from Parks tonight. She's an aggressive setter that can add points to the Stanford offense.
69th kill of the season for her. She's had 10 or more kills 5 times this year. It's her diving to the right to try and keep it alive, but she's unable to do so on the Blackshear swing for Louisville. And Blackshear goes to the bench. One of 4 Louisville players with 4 or more kills tonight. Blashoff. Here's Cressy. Peyton Peterson off the block.
And you see Cabello being active, a lot of jump setting. This one was Kenny here to the outside after Cabello had gotten the dig. Peterson's able to finish off the block.
Louisville fighting their way back into this set, 9-6. Cressy, that's in.
And Cressy's front row with Cabello here. Typically, she would go on a slide behind the setter, but it's a fast play and she's coming from the left. Just gets up, goes deep with the 1 ball.
Louisville needed that run. And really, it's one of the first runs we've seen from a trailing team in this match. Cabello!
And I had just mentioned a second ago, Cabello was being aggressive jump setting. This is what it gets you. Now the block did not bite after being burned a couple times on the jump set, and she's able to score.
The run continues for Louisville. It'll end here, though. Blashoff through the hands of Cressy.
Blashoff, such a great decision there. Seeing that the block was going to be a little bit late, she's able to speed up her contact by not taking a full swing and just going with a push.
Julia Blashoff now into double digits with 10 kills. First player to hit that mark tonight. But the point goes to Louisville on the 9th service error committed by Stanford. And that continues to be one of the places where Louisville's had a lifeline tonight.
But we talked early in the set that Louisville maybe needs to apply a little bit more service pressure to keep the Stanford offense a little bit at bay. And so there's some give and take for some of those missed serves.
Rubin off the hands of Cabello. And she joins Blashoff in double figures with 10 kills.
And first time we've really seen back and forth in this match.
Etzler serves for Stanford and dives for that dig. Chance here for Louisville. They go to Chicoine. Rubin, Cabello. And now Jordan Harvey for the Cardinal.
And Harvey able to jump back in the offensive game after a little bit slow start for her. You see that her production is mirrored by Stanford's production as they've gotten better and better as this match has gone on.
The efficiency increasing with time. And you can understand why after some cross-country travel for this team.
And we mentioned maybe a little bit of nerves coming out when you know that you're in control of your destiny. That's a very freeing feeling, but it can also be a pressure situation.
Harvey. Cressy to the floor. Comes to Chicoine. It was touched. Big reaction from this Louisville team. The emotions swinging in this match.
And high emotional play for everybody here. That's a middle blocker, Kara Cressy, going to the floor for a dig. Chicoine wants to finish, and also a celebration from the coaching staff. They decided to leave Cressy in again to serve after making a change on that in the second set, and it paid off.
Andrew. The stars are showing up right now for Stanford.
I love how Andrew has evolved in this match. We talked earlier, her first 4 swings were not kills. That's not normal for her, but she got back into it with defense and blocking, and now has totally flipped the script and up to hitting over 500, still with 0 errors.
Hitting .438 on the season, an exceedingly efficient player, and is playing that way tonight, as you mentioned, Steph, with that hitting percentage up over .570. But still, a 1-point margin right now as Cabello takes aim. Rubin, a laser from the left side.
And Rubin just uses and abuses blocks, gets them a little bit frustrated. You'll see them both reach really high here, which opens that sharp cross angle to the inside.
Chicoine, yes. Right now, Chloe Chicoine and Elia Rubin going punch for punch.
And Louisville needs to get Blackshear involved here in the front row. She only had 1 swing her last time through the front row.
A joust, and Hannah Sherman wins it. Muscle.
The setters typically win those, but Hannah Sherman touched the ball last and was able to finish.
Crowd really getting into this one now. It's been a much more competitive set than the first 2 were. Blashow off the Louisville block. And Stanford takes a 1-point lead as we head to a timeout. This one's set up really nicely. This is going to be a great finish to this match. Tied. And right now they have the 1-point advantage in the all-important 3rd set. They could put Louisville on their heels at home in the regular season finale. But out of the timeout, the Cardinals go to Peyton Peterson, who has been quite effective.
And the big thing that I think we should watch for the rest of this set is serve receive. We've talked a lot about the blocking. I think the blocking's huge, but both of these teams, when they're in system on that first contact, they are different squads.
It's been a key to the season for Louisville for certain. And the point goes to Stanford. Blashow again. Between her and Rubin, 23 kills. 4 Stanford players with 7 or more kills. It's been balanced, but it's been top heavy. Blackshear for Louisville trying to find that second option. Right now, Chicoine leading away with 11 kills for the Cardinals, but who's her running mate right now for Louisville?
Yeah, and we talked about Louisville needing production from Blackshear this time across the front row. They get 1 kill from her here, but now she rotates out Kenny into serve.
Sayer off the Louisville block. Erica Sayer making a strong contribution tonight as well. 5 kills, 3 blocks for the freshman.
She's doing a great job off of 1 foot as well. She plays away from the setter, so only has that 1 rotation out of serve receive to go behind the setter, but she's been very successful.
Look at that leap from Jordan Harvey. And this Stanford block continues to excel tonight.
Harvey gets every piece of this ball, and it goes straight down.
10th block for the visiting Cardinal. Cressy on the slide gets one back for the Louisville Cardinals. And this set, there's been no separation between these 2 sides. But look at the blocking story. Louisville came out hot in the first set, then domination by Stanford ever since.
And Stanford's not necessarily known for being just a super strong blocking team historically, but they have made their presence known at the net tonight.
Harvey finds the way to the floor to score.
And it's more of a basketball quote, I think, when you talk about defense leads to offense, but that has been a story tonight for Stanford, too. Their players that have really picked it up on defense, their offense has followed, both in Andrew and now Harvey.
Those big emotional swings on the blocks, perhaps making a difference for Stanford.
Definitely
Whistle
confidence.
Whistle here for a net violation against Stanford. Gives Louisville another point. It feels, Steph, right now like Stanford's pulling away, but it's still just a 1-point margin. Louisville right there. If they can just swing momentum behind them a little bit more, the set is there for the taking for either side right now.
Yep, I think Louisville needs one of those big emotional plays. They need that big block, that big hustle play that really gets the confidence and the emotions back into this game.
That was Molly Urban into the match for Louisville to serve. And in the end, it's Lizzie Andrew who gets the job done for Stanford with the kill.
And Andrew here in front of the setter loves that crossbody swing.
Andrew now one kill away from becoming the third Cardinal in double figures with 10 or more kills.
Yep, and we see Blackshear here for Louisville in the back row off of this serve receive. That will give Louisville another option on serve receive.
They don't need it though. That one right into the heart of the net. Another service error. It's the one category that really favors Louisville right now. 12-3. And it's been, we've said it a little bit, but it's been more Stanford mistakes or giving Louisville opportunities than it's been Louisville taking them in this set. But still right there, a 1-point margin. And that one, a poor pass intended for Chicoine. And it's a Louisville mistake that gives the point to Stanford.
And some of that's the type of team Louisville is. They're just gritty and they just grind away. They don't always have the ability to come up with those highlight plays, but that can make it hard down the stretch to keep that confidence, keep those emotions high, and really be able to kind of take over at the end of a set.
But Stanford unable to take that gift and run with it. They give it right back on the service error, and Louisville turns to Chicoine to serve. Harvey out of the back row. What a terrific dig that was for Louisville with Chicoine. Cabello trying to catch Stanford unaware. But then Parks just pops it up in the air into the back corner. No one was there for Louisville after everyone crashed in.
Yeah, battle of the setters. First of all, Harvey goes after this. Great dig from Chicoine. Then Cabello had taken the ball on the play before, but Parks said, I can score as the setter for Stanford.
A very important next few points in this match and in the ACC title race. Blashoff. Peterson, too much in front of her, and it's an easy block for Logan Parks. And Louisville takes a timeout. Stanford 2 points away from taking a commanding 2-1 lead.
And Louisville doing a great job of not shying away here down the stretch, but it's also led to two kind of errant off-system balls. Peterson did everything she could to recycle this ball, but it came down to
put themselves in pole position to clinch the ACC title, a share of it. But they get the point back to Louisville here on the service error from Kirsch.
All right, I'm with you now that the missed serves are adding up for Stanford, especially the ones in the net that aren't playable. I think they want a couple of those back.
Blashoff doesn't care one bit about a missed serve. To your point, Steph. Stanford now 1 point.
Yeah, I expect both to be hosting next weekend, and probably neither, even Stanford with a win here, probably will not break into that top 4 to be hosting a region.
Here's Peterson out of the timeout for Louisville, goes line and scores to pull the Cardinals within 2.
And great dig at the beginning of that rally from Chicoine to keep that ball in play.
Peterson now second behind Chicoine with 7 kills.
This is the rotation from Stanford where they like to use Harvey on the 2-ball or Sayer on the slide.
It's Kenny to serve. Harvey out of the middle. And that'll end the 3rd set. Stanford takes it. Louisville.
A couple days, such a great time to be a volleyball fan.
You were all out of breath when you got here today because you were lugging TVs around your house, getting the living room set up.
I'll have at least 3 or 4 ready to rock.
As you should. 4th set opens with a Calissa Blackshear kill. And Stanford has really turned this game on its head since that opening set. A 100 hitting percentage in the opening set for the Cardinals. Since then, they have been electric. 482 to go along with that blocking resurgence as well. Those are the 2 biggest factors to explain how Stanford has this 2-1 lead heading into the 4th. Louisville at home, though, looking to polish off their NCAA tournament resume with a victory over a top 5 team. Looking to forge the comeback trail right now here at home. And that one fell awkwardly down right at the net. And Sayer gets the credit for it for Stanford to put the Cardinal on the board in the 4th.
Sayer did a great job there of tracking that ball. When that ball goes so high, it's tough. Cressy had to spin around, but Sayer just kept her composure and cleaned up everything at the net.
Here's Cressy, blocked by Harvey. Andrew up for it as well, but Jordan Harvey gets the credit.
And Harvey, well done there. She has 2 responsibilities blocking in that moment, to help with the middle and still be able to close quickly to the outside.
Not often that you see Louisville out blocked so significantly in a match for a team that is one of the best in the country and has been for years. That's the calling card of this program, including under Dan Meske, their first-year head coach. Peterson with the kill here for Louisville.
I think you hit that head on. Louisville loves to be this team that capitalizes on the kills, able to score in system, but more than anything, they pride themselves in their blocking.
So many All-American middle blockers over the years for Louisville, including Kara Cressy. But right now, it's the Stanford block that has fueled their comeback. And Elia Rubin continues to lead the way.
And watch Rubin there, but then also watch the body language from Louisville on another kill from Rubin.
It's Rubin again. Great reaction there from Peterson to keep it alive and deny Rubin another kill.
Dig from Etzler.
And it leads to a Rubin kill. And look where Rubin goes to celebrate with number 9 immediately, Spencer Etzler.
Etzler tracks that ball down to keep it in play, and Rubin able to finish out of system here, straight down.
Etzler with 11 digs. A game high for either side. That one careening, nearly went into the second deck at L&N Federal Credit Union Arena, but falls to the floor, and it's a Louisville point.
We almost got to invoke interference rules like baseball style there with leaning over the balcony.
So a ground rule kill, is that what you're telling me?
I don't know what they would rule it in volleyball, to be honest.
Harvey flying out of the back row. Chicoine having to sprint for that ball, but it works out. A little out of sorts both ways. But Louisville with the point, Chloe Chicoine with the kill. And a double-double for Chicoine now. 10 digs to go along with 13 kills. Andrew is lethal.
And what a great set from Parks. You heard Coach Hambley yell it from the bench too, but she's going forward, she's off the net, and she locates that ball absolutely perfectly for Andrew.
Chicoine off the fingertips.
Chicoine trying to be a spark for this team. You see her giving every player a high five and trying to get the body language, the momentum, the vibe of Louisville back.
She's a player with a lot of experience in her career, coming in from Purdue in the transfer portal in the offseason, part of a Purdue team that, along with Ava Hudson, was really dangerous, made NCAA tournament runs, and maybe she has been able to light a spark in her team when they need it most right now. An ace for Louisville to give them a 6-5 lead in the fourth.
And maybe the last spark we saw from this Louisville team was when Cressy was serving in set 3 and got the big dig.
But Blashow with a tremendous response. Just seems like Louisville cannot seize momentum right now. Stanford in control.
Exactly, and Blashow has been so good at just making the right choices and getting the kills. I don't even know that we could put together a flashy highlight reel for her tonight, and she has 14 kills.
Sayer kept alive by Kenny and Chicoine for Louisville. Blashow, Peterson. Now Chicoine offensively. And Blashow again. Maybe an opportunity for Louisville. Cabello goes with the left hand on the 2-ball. Sayer on the slide, finishes it.
Give credit to Parks there. Her jump set opens just a little window for Sayer. Look at right here. You have to think maybe she's an option. Delays Sherman. Sayer able to finish in the hole. Louisville will go with a sub here again so that Blackshear is an option out of the back row off of the serve receive.
That was the 44th assist of the night for Logan Parks, by the way. Sherman. She's had her moments tonight.
And we've said you needed a spark. I don't think this is a play call that anybody would make. Pass left, run a high 2-ball out of the middle to Sherman, but sometimes you just need things to start going your way. Remember that play if Louisville can add a little run here.
That time, Sayer off the Louisville block to thwart any thought of a run that Louisville may have had. And it's every time Louisville lands a punch, Stanford lands one back.
And that whole play was just textbook. Great pass from Etzler, perfect set from Parks, and the finish with Sayer.
Blackshear. Blashow. Harvey. Louisville goes to Chicoine. And that one is smashed down by Sayer. And Chicoine shaken up on the play. And a hush falls over the crowd, but Chicoine appears to be okay. Back to her feet.
Tight ball here. She landed with kind of a straight leg, and her leg buckled on her own accord, but still not fun to see.
Service error gives it right back to Louisville, though, with that pass. She really had to do a lot of work to get there for that ball, Chicoine. That led to the awkward landing. But she stays in. No worse for wear. And has been consistent with this topspin serve all night long. Blashow. An overpass from Peterson. She'll have the chance here offensively, and she takes advantage.
And Peterson able to swing high here and use the block.
Into double figures, Peyton Peterson, second behind Chicoine for Louisville tonight. Both with double doubles as well. 11 digs for Peterson. Just off the chest of Chicoine to give Sayer yet another kill. Erica Sayer, as if Stanford needed a complimentary piece. She's got 9 kills now, tied for 4th with 5 players with 9 or more kills for the Cardinal. A balanced attack as ever.
And that really is the unique thing about this Stanford offense. In the first set, they were very one-dimensional. Maybe we were getting kills from both Rubin and Blashow, but not anything other than the outside hitters. As you just saw Rubin get this kill on the outside. This was a lot of what was happening in that first set. But since then, Harvey, Andrew, Sayer have all joined the party to add some depth to this Stanford offense.
Louisville trying to get some momentum. An ace dealt there by Peyton Peterson. And that one falls once again. I beg your pardon, it was Camden Strand with the ace for Louisville. But Louisville making a run. It's felt like Stanford has held them at arm's length for a long time over the last couple of sets. Good diving play by Parks on the dig. Here's Peterson this time with the swing. Rubin, a block touch there for Blackshear. Cressy at forward as well. They'll meet again. Peterson behind it. And the pass, a lot to be desired there. Blackshear didn't even offer at it. And it falls down for a Stanford point.
Louisville has just seemed off in some things tonight, specifically off-system balls setting. That one was Cabello, the setter, that didn't deliver there. But multiple times here in long rallies, the second contact has been an issue for Louisville, which isn't normal.
And Peterson sliding on the floor, leaving it all on the floor to keep that ball alive, but the whistle goes against her because of it. And as Louisville had tried to build momentum, Stanford has quashed that immediately.
And Stanford has played a really clean game. I've mentioned multiple times that they've had rallies back and forth where they've made 3 great contacts in a row. And I know that sounds really simple and basic in volleyball, but it's not what happens in these big games, that you string together 3 great contacts multiple times in a row.
Rubin. And immediately with points to Blasov in celebration.
And Rubin, after using the block just a ton in the first couple sets, has gotten that block to reach up high, and she started taking advantage of that angle around the elbows.
Peterson able to get one back for Louisville. And it's tied at 13 in the 4th set. Would you expect anything else between number 5 and number 7? And Stanford trying to do to Louisville what Louisville was able to do to them in California earlier this year.
And I think this is more what we expected to see. I think both sets 1 and 2, we were a little bit like, oh, we thought this was going to be closer.
It's another ace for Louisville, this time Hannah Kinney, the freshman, who has made a big impact this season for behind the service line. 36 aces. She leads Louisville in that category this season, but cannot duplicate that effort with that serve.
And Louisville still just can't string together a run here, and credit to Stanford on a lot of that.
Peterson. And Drew. Every time she swings, she scores. It feels that way anyway. You see it around the country right now with conference tournaments. Is that something the ACC will ever do? Go to a conference tournament and eliminate that regular season title importance? As Kara Cressy is sent back on another Stanford block.
To that point, I hope they do, because I want to see more volleyball like this down the stretch. And I think that's so fun. If you tuned into the SEC championship the other night against Texas and UK, I know that was highly debated in the SEC whether they wanted to go to a conference tournament, but it was worth every point to watch that match.
Timeout Louisville is stand for the years under Danny Busboom Kelly and now Dan Meskey.
But if we get a little asterisk to that too, they have not been in a conference this strong and this deep with this type of scheduling where you play the toughest teams at the end either.
Rubin on the left side. And Stanford sprinting through the finish line right now.
Louisville moves this block in after Rubin has hit cross a couple times, and I was paused there to watch her celebrate, and what an emotional spark she brings to this team. Ended up maybe with too much emotion, headed back to the service line for the miss.
You can hear these Louisville fans, though. The cheer rises up, trying to push their team forward in a game where they've just never been able to seize momentum. Chicoine.
Etzler with a great pass.
Kinney. Wow. First the dig, and then it falls kindly on the other end of the floor.
We talked about Louisville needing some play to really flip the momentum here. That could have been it.
Trailing by 1.
Great servicing from Rubin.
It's a block. No, it's not. It's off the hands of Reese Robbins.
Perfect serve receive there from Rubin, right in Parks' hands. And who does she go to but Blashoff on the right side, just to tool the block and put another point on the scoreboard.
Fans were so ready to jump out of their seats with a momentum swing that there was a little false cheer after that ball went off the hands of Reese Robbins. But a missed serve from Stanford offers Louisville another lifeline. But can Louisville take it?
Parks with a throwdown on that ball. She has jump set all those balls along the way. Not been super aggressive tonight as an attacker. Notices no block up with her and scores a huge point in this match.
Chicoine. A much needed point for Louisville.
This is a serve receive where Stanford likes to run Harvey on the 2-ball and Sayer on the slide.
Peterson. Yes! Tied at 20 in the 4th set. Sayer with the light touch. Peterson with the hammer. Louisville leads.
And Chicoine went from the top spin jump serve here all the way through the dig. You see her bail out of the play to allow the hitters to still take an approach.
Harvey into the first row of the stands, but a more challenging serve from Chicoine that time. Blackshear. Blashoff.
And that's going to be an opportunity that Louisville wanted. They had a free ball there for their offense, wasn't able to capitalize, and Blashoff does what she's done all night. Use that Louisville block to score a point.
Tied at 21 in the 4th set. Stanford on the precipice of a conference title. But Louisville and Peyton Peterson saying not so fast. Not yet. Not if we have anything to say about it.
Peyton Peterson and Chloe Chicoine have really put this Louisville team on their back over these last 5 or 6 points.
Rubin. scores over the head of Cabello to tie it at 22.
And watching Ruben, it's just like she's toying with the defense. She goes up one time, swings so hard, you feel like you have to sit back on your heels to dig her. Goes up next time, moves that ball around with a very light pace.
Poise from Ruben, but so too from Peyton Peterson, who has taken the reins for Louisville in this fourth set. She scores again to give the Cardinals a 1-point advantage. And we talked about it, Steph, Wednesday night in the loss to Pitt. Louisville unable to finish sets. They were in the sets, but couldn't finish them. And a test of that right now against number 5. Ruben!
I'm interested there that Louisville keeps serving Ruben. She's done such a good job passing down the stretch, and she's just the emotion behind this team. She's not missing that serve receive.
Cressy got a piece of that one. Andrew! Stanford roaring back, and they're a point away. Because a title is on the line. Stanford a point away as Harvey serves. Louisville the point from Peterson. Peyton Peterson doing it all right now offensively for the Cardinals to tie it now at 24.
Peterson has been the weapon for Louisville offensively in these last few points, but Chicoine to the front row now as Peterson goes back to serve.
Out of sorts, Stanford. Clear opportunity for Louisville if they get it right. They go to Chicoine, and Cressy leaping with her right hand. Stanford may challenge, though.
So Stanford's trying to challenge. However, this is not a challengeable play that they want Cressy to have been called over the net. That is a subjective call and is not a challengeable play. He can challenge if he thinks Cressy was in the net.
Kevin Hambly getting the explanation here as you see what is a reviewable play. And this not on the list.
Well, you see his assistant coach came and gave him the same advice that we were talking about, challenge net.
Although
Stanford is challenging net fault.
Stanford challenging a net fault, using their challenges that are available to them here. They've already won one challenge tonight. But this not looking at where Kara Cressy is when she makes contact with the ball, looking to see if she makes contact with the net at any point.
Yep, so even if the officials watch this replay and think, oh man, we missed it, she was all the way over the net when she touched it, they aren't able to reverse this from the challenge.
After review, the call is confirmed. No net.
So the point remains
Stanford loses the
Louisville's.
challenge.
Stanford loses the challenge, but Kevin Hambly just doing what he can to try and account for his team and advocate for his team there on what was a very close call. Set point for Louisville, fans on their feet. Louisville looking to force a fifth against number 5 Stanford as Peterson serves. Ruben. They crash into each other, and Louisville has forced a fifth.
Louisville subbed in Reese Robbins as a blocking sub on the right side. She hasn't gotten a lot of playing time this season, but huge sub in a huge moment comes through for Louisville to force the fifth.
Coming through. And so, we move to number 5 as number 5 chases a conference title. And it's a block for Stanford's number 5, Jordan Harvey, to get this fifth set underway.
We talked about how Harvey and Andrew have both fed off of their defense tonight. That's a big start for them.
Louisville trying to respond with Cressy. Ruben. And again. Peterson. That one left a lot for Rubin to go find, and Cabello gets there first. The whistle goes against Stanford as Rubin got into the net, and it's a point to Louisville.
Rubin did a good job playing the ball, but then couldn't land without her body being in the net.
Goodness gracious. Lizzie Andrew just unleashes her swings with authority every time.
And we've hyped her going off 1 foot, but she's also been really effective in front of the setter tonight with that cross body shot.
Chicoine off the hands of Parks. And Louisville and Stanford step for step to open this 5th. Tara Cressy back to serve as Reese Robbins checks in. And how about her impact? After not playing in the first 3 sets, Robbins comes in the 4th and makes a late impact. Called upon here in the 5th. Andrew is on target. As if you expected anything else when number 11 goes up for the ball. Andrew with her 12th match this season with 10 or more kills. She's got 14. Oh, and it's an ace for Stanford. From Rubin. Who else? And a nervous cheer builds up from the Cardinal faithful here at L&N Federal Credit Union Arena. Chicoine. Sherman. A rapid reaction from Hannah Sherman.
And much better second ball here from Louisville. Peyton Peterson stepped in, took this ball out of system, but delivered a great ball. This had been a struggle for Louisville down the stretch so far this match.
Shaw. A touch from Blackshear. Andrew Peterson behind it. Chicoine. Blackshear. Blashoff scores. It was touched by Louisville. Does Dan Meskey agree?
Cabello
looks like he does.
Signaled yes that she touched it.
Stanford by 2.
Louisville, after the Cabello sub where Reese Robbins came in, you usually base your rotation kind of off of where your setter is in the lineup. That's what tells you everything that's going on. Cabello was a little out of sorts after subbing back in, and they had to do a check to make sure they were in the correct rotation.
Louisville fans know what it looks like when the team is not in the correct rotation and it goes a long time without being noticed after that match at Notre Dame earlier this year. Stanford by 3.
Look for Louisville to use Blackshear out of the middle here on a good pass.
That's exactly what they do. Blashoff is errant, but Kevin Hambly is going to challenge this, immediately calling for it.
Now, he did lose one challenge on that play in the 4th set. We'll listen to
Stanford is challenging block touch.
Challenging a block touch there was...
Now, they can also look at in and out as they look at this touch in the replay because both items are challengeable. But Stanford does have 2 challenges still. This obviously is one of them. We know they lost one in set 4, but they got another one as we went into set 5.
The question here about the right ring finger of Calissa Blackshear, it would appear. Maybe the pinky as well.
I would also want to see where this ball lands, as I think in real time, I thought it may have been in.
Important moments and a very important match at the end of the season. Here's the call.
After review, the call is overturned. Stanford retains the point and the challenge.
It is a correct Stanford challenge. Kevin Hambly 2 for 3 tonight when he goes to the green card. And evidently Blackshear's finger bent backward there. I think you can see it.
I do think it's that right ring finger.
And so it is a 4-point advantage for the Cardinal over the Cardinals in the 5th set. Stanford just about halfway there, with the ACC crown waiting if they can do it. After the long delay for the review, Blackshear had a long time to think about it and comes through here with the Louisville kill.
And Chloe Chicoine back to serve for the Cardinals. This is where they made their run at the end of the 4th set with her behind the serving line.
Another block. The 16th of the night for Stanford.
What the next matches that they play will have at stake.
Yeah, this is a right dress rehearsal for the NCAA tournament. High intensity, high emotion, high energy.
You see Louisville making some adjustments here. We don't usually see Blackshear swinging from the left pin, but she's 2 for 2 on these last 2 serve receives out at the left pin. Just a different look for Louisville's offense.
Blashoff with the response.
Stanford doesn't need a different look out on the left side. Blashoff and Rubin have been phenomenal tonight.
19 for Blashoff to lead all players. She's got 9 digs as well, working on that double-double. Blackshear.
And Blackshear, again, just a different look, a different type of hitter than the smaller outsides for Louisville. She's long, lanky, and has different angles that the Stanford defense has to defend. 3 for 3 hitting from the pin for Blackshear.
Cressy with the Louisville point.
And not a flashy block there, kind of on her way down, but able to stop that ball from coming over the net.
Louisville is pulled to within 2. Kinney serves. Rubin, block touch from Cressy. Chance for Rubin again, and she scores this time.
She loves that ball. Not many hitters do. Coming from behind you at a funky angle, she does such a good job opening up her hips and finding different options.
Cabello. She catches Stanford unaware.
Louisville going with the Reese Robbins sub. She's subbing in for Cabello, the setter. So Louisville will not have a setter, a true setter, in transition. Hannah Kenny will set for the Louisville offense. This is a defensive sub for Louisville, looking for the block here.
And they get it with Cressy. Timeout. Stanford. The chess match paying dividends for the Cardinals right now.
And you see Andrews staying in front of the setter again, tries to go away. She's had so much success going across her body. Cressy able to read that and finish.
Kara Cressy, 7 blocks tonight to lead Louisville, along with complete this late comeback in the 5th set. They trail it by 1 after the Stanford timeout. Where do the Cardinal turn? They go to their superstar. Elia Rubin.
As a senior, I don't think there's a block in the nation that Elia Rubin is scared of. She will go after and attack any block.
Here's Cressy. Finds a way. Had to hold up for that ball just a little bit, able to connect, and it goes down off the block straight to the floor.
They ran an inside slide there to try to get Cressy a gap, but she just willed that ball into a pretty non-existent hole in the block.
It's awkward for Stanford, but Rubin makes the most of it incredibly.
Rubin has been impressive. That is a hard ball to hit. Parks is running out of bounds and throws that ball almost to the rafters. The timing on that play is so tough.
21 kills now for Rubin with 12 digs, 2 aces and 2 blocks. A superstar stat line in a game with high stakes. Chicoine answers.
Chicoine elevates on this ball. She wants to get set right now.
17 and 15 for Chicoine. Louisville trailing by 1. Blashaw with the swing. Peterson behind it for Louisville. Here's Chicoine. Now Blackshear. Was it touched? It was. That's the call on the floor. And Blashaw scores. But everybody in the gym reacted to that one, including the Louisville coaches, led by Dan Meskey.
The Louisville players did not, though.
Yep.
They know that it was a touch.
Stanford by 2. The noise level rises in the arena. Is it in? It is not by a hair.
And
that is service error number 19 for Stanford.
Going back to that last swing that we were talking about being out of bounds, we cannot talk enough about Blashaw and her intentionality, is that a word?
That's it.
Of hitting
You got there.
off the block. Too much excitement right now.
19-4, though. That's an incredible discrepancy in this game with small margins in the last 3 sets. Blackshear. Blashaw, Schrand gets there. Cabello does as well. Peterson. The pancake to no avail. Sayre scores, and Stanford is a point away from a share of the ACC title.
And that just shows how dynamic this Stanford offense is. Parks has the confidence in all of her hitters to go to Sayre on that slide in that moment.
Blackshear. Schrand gets there. Peterson the bump set over. Blashaw. Peterson. Harvey. It's Blashaw. And now Harvey. Louisville won't quit. Blashaw. Stanford celebrates like they've won it, but Dan Meskey will challenge.
What they're challenging here, it took a long time for him to explain it to our R2 because luckily Coach Meskey was standing right in front of us for that entire rally.
Louisville is challenging net fault.
You could hear him say early in that long rally that he thought there was a net fault very early in the rally. So this is going to take a minute to go through that entire rally of every time there was a play at the net.
He'd been sitting on this one for a while. But it's all he can do to try and extend this match right now, the Louisville head coach.
One other thing that we could hear Coach Meskey saying down the stretch there was, we've got to stay aggressive. If that comes into play, that this wasn't match point.
And here's the call.
After review, call is confirmed. No net.
Not so fast. Oh, the call is confirmed. Yes, indeed.
Stanford wins the share of the ACC championship.
For the 25th time in program history and the first time as a member of the ACC, the Stanford Cardinal are conference champions.